Oh, let me get situated here. Welcome to Friday's postpartum support group. Oh, hey, what's up? Okay, yeah, that works. Yesterday was All Hallows Eve, and I'm not ready for it to end. So today, November 1st, technically, the veil is still thin, so we're rocking with it. Okay. Did I just fuck something up? Okay, that's fine. Just want to turn off comments with a little post-it for a sec. All right. Oh my God, I have so much I want to say, but grab your water. I got my little green tea boba here. And let's dive in. So this is it gets me to show up on Fridays. I said it's my postpartum support group. But today I have a lot of things to say, and they don't really revolve around postpartum so much as like body acceptance, which is a big part of postpartum. But for everyone, like even if you haven't birthed a kid, this like conditioning that we always need to be like getting smaller is just something that I really want to dissect and like look at today. I've had so many situations. I feel like every day I see these situations, and it's not just with the older generation, like boomers. I see it with younger generations. I see it with my own millennial generation, the Gen Zers. And we got to put a stop to this thought of like, oh, no, I can't eat that. Like, I got to lose weight. I can't eat that. Like, denying yourself. Like, I see food now as such a pleasure. There were, God, I mean, all my high school years and then like really in depth in college, I was like fully calorie restrictive, like anorexic, would not let myself eat more than 1,000 calories. I was also working out every single day of the week. Excuse me. And food like ruled my life. And at that time, food was, it wasn't even fuel. It was just this thing where like I couldn't eat. I just had to eat the littlest amount that I could. And I was in a like biology program. I have my degree in biology, minors in microbiology and chemistry. And yeah, I just remember being like, I need enough to like feed myself to study, but and like to go in my day, but like I can't eat a calorie more. I have to be like, I was at 112 pounds, and I'm like 5'1", 5'2". So, and I could not get to 110, and I just like wanted to be at 110 pounds. And then like even at that smallest weight of like 112, like I still was never really happy because I was always chasing this, like I need to be small, I need to be thin, I need to be skinny, I need to be hot. And it was just exhausting. And so now food is such a place of like pleasure and joy and like fulfillment. And it makes me sad, like genuinely, when I hear yeah, people just be like, oh no, I can't eat that. I have to like be skinny. Like, oh, I'm gonna be so fat if I eat that. It's like, you can have a fucking ice cream. I think it's truly all about moderation. And hi, people coming in. Yeah, it's not like we have to restrict our calories. It's truly like food is meant to be this thing that is like enjoyed, and like we allow ourselves to enjoy it. And like what a blessing to like be in these bodies and be able to experience like touch and sex and food. And like I just see it as one of those kind of categories now of like it's pleasure. And it's crazy because I'll see pictures from myself at that time, and I remember thinking how like fat I was, or I can like see in my head still what I thought I was looking at when I was looking in the mirror. And Nico, Nico, I'm in my office. Yeah, come here. Um, and I like can't believe what I like the image in my head versus like what actually those picture like what I looked like in the pictures. Like just I think a lot of us don't see ourselves the way that we actually are, and part of that is just our perspective on our bodies, right? Like if I look down at my body, there's a different perspective on my stomach than if someone is like standing afar from me looking at my stomach. And I'm gonna go with stomach because postpartum, that's the area that usually changes the most. But in all of us, like it's like our stomach, so many of us, our stomach is an area of like hate. um yeah, and I just want to change that. And really quick before we go any further, let's just like take a deep breath and like feel into our bodies. Hang on, let me get my child. What up? You eat all the food? Oh, that dinosaur's eating all that food. Okay. So just taking a deep breath. Taking time in stillness to just allow our body to catch up. Allowing our mind and our body to sync with each other. Ignoring any distraction. If it's a child, you might tend to them. Nico, I'm in my office. No, Nico, I'm right here. No, baby, I'm in my office. Okay. But especially if you're in America, there is this like in other places I know, like I don't know, China, I've heard is like similar. I've never been, but to where you're just like going at a constant speed. You're going school drop off. We just had Halloween last night. That was busy. We're going from all of these places, and it doesn't really allow us time to like sit down and integrate and just like check in with yourself. Like, how am I doing? Like, am I good? How do I feel? Yes, Nico. I'm in my office. Uh-huh. Checking in with your body and just noticing any areas that are chatty. For me, it's my left hip.
Okay. I'm coming.
You coming? Okay, but look, mommy's doing a video. Mommy's working, okay? So you want your bears? I see your bears in the cups? Okay. Okay. Oh, and she gone. But just giving ourselves that time to really, I don't know, sitting and being with ourselves, allowing the body and the mind and the heart and the spirit to all come into one. And like, that's literally what this motion is. It's like coming into one. It feels nice. So hands at your heart if you want. It feels nice. Nico, can you put your hands like this at your heart? Oh, cool. Hands at the heart though. And yeah, allowing them to all come together. Allowing whatever you've been like pushing into your subconscious and like saving it for later, saving it for later, saving it for later. Allowing it to bubble up right now. Allowing it to come to the forefront of your mind. Allowing it to be seen and addressed so that, you know, we don't manifest some thing that makes us slow down because we haven't slow down ourselves. Like our body will, I want to say turn on us, but like if there's something our body wants us to know and look at, it's going to, like we're gonna run into a situation where we're forced to slow down and like actually feel these things. Like, so that's part of why I like want to, I try to make space in my own life just to like do this practice, because it's important, right? Like it kind of goes back to the food, like the diet thing, right? Like we put so much pressure on ourselves to like look a certain way and like fit in this mold in society that we're like supposed to be like healthy and whatever. And sometimes that's like our pinnacle and our focus, and then it creates this like kind of gets our compass all out of whack. We're not really like going in the intentional direction, like a direction that's like for, I don't want to be like for our highest good, but like for our betterment. Like life is truly about feeling good. Like I said, pleasure, touch. It's like for those things, sex, and I think that we just gotta like bring back joy a little bit, like in our lives. I think there is so much pressure that is self-imposed, but also society imposed, to be perfect, and we need to realize like perfect isn't real, and that's cool, and like I'm just accepting that like we're never gonna be that perfect, whatever. And coming back to this, like how can I like enjoy more? How can I play more with kids? This is like why I feel like I had kids. I needed the lesson in like how to play and be silly. Like how much can I laugh? And like humor is such a way that humor is such a medicine, and like laughter is medicine. Like you hear it, go watch Patch Adams if you haven't, amazing movie about that. But that's like what I want to say too about healing. Like it doesn't have to be so fucking serious all the time. We don't have to be so stoic and like I have to meditate and then I have to like do my yoga and I have to be like eating the things that are gonna like keep my chakras in line and like all of that. Like it's truly like it's not that serious. We can chill out, we can chill the fuck out and just like enjoy, like be here to enjoy our lives and like our experience in our daily lives. Oh, thank you. Thank you. What you doing? What are you doing? No thanks. Here, you gonna play with my cards? You gotta play on the floor. You going?
My feet.
There you go. I was talking to a couple last night trick-or-treating that had experienced like child loss, and just one thing it made me remember too, like especially in heavy grief, like humor and laughter and like silliness is such medicine. It doesn't always, like I said, have to be so serious. It is not that serious. I need this like continual reminder. Again, I think why I had kids, because kids are so unserious. But yeah, I think, and especially this like notion that, oh, you have to be high vibe all the time. Like if, particularly in like the manifesting community. Should we do it there? Yeah. Cute. Okay. But yeah, particularly in like the manifesting community, there is this like there's so many people teaching it that like don't, I feel like, fully understand it, or they're not embodying it in their own lives, and so they teach it from this place of high pressure when it's actually really not high pressure. It's very like just silly, and like you can have fun and still like be doing a good job. We're putting this pressure on ourselves to be perfect when we really don't have to be. And I think too, like it's easier to, see someone else's life from the outside and kind of judge ourselves of like, oh, well, I'm not.
Hey, mommy, guess what?
What?
Today's Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Thanks for bearing with my child here. And the imperfect flow of thoughts. And like I could sit here and just like kind of be like, I should just end this right now because this live is going nowhere and I'm like rambling and da 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 da. And this sucks. Like noticing like that is a like my own critical thought. And like I don't have to listen to that. Like I can be like, greet the thought, what's up, like critical voice in me, like that's actually not the case. And like you're speaking from fear, you're speaking from like the fear of looking stupid or whatever. So I recognize that and like now I release you, thank you, go along. One of the best things I've like learned from therapy is this this like illustration that we're in a car and like our self and their, well, not even just therapy, but like ourself, what other people like in spiritual communities might call like your highest self, like that is just yourself. And then there's all these parts of you. There's a part that might be like petty. There's a part that might like drama. There's a part of you that might like get really angry and like resentful sometimes, but those are like parts. And like this self us is like this self that is like feeling good in our joy.
Watch this.
Okay. Oh. Okay, what is it? The 5 C's of self are like confidence. Okay, let me see. Slap at the booty. God, the 5 C's of self: confidence, clarity. I have it on my phone. Is clarity one of them? I feel like it would be, but 5 C's. C of self. Okay, creative, connective, compassionate, centered, confident. I wrote clear, so I feel like there should be 6. And then I have the 2 E's of self that again I just added in there, but empowered and embodied. So that's how you feel when you know that like it's yourself in the driver's seat. And there are these little things that come out, like fear will come out. And this can come out in like many forms, but like particularly like fear of like when it relates to our finances, like fear of like not having enough, fear of like the safety, like I'm not safe in my body and in my experience. Like I said, anger, resentment, pettiness, like these are all like jealousy, envy, like these are things that it's very similar to like Inside Out, right? And Inside Out 2 that has all these more other emotions like anxiety and depression. Ow, chill. But I think getting to a place where in your thoughts you're able to notice like identifying these thoughts is just such a game changer, because the more that you can like identify what you're experiencing, what you're feeling, the more that you can like recognizing it, shining a light on it can really like neutralize that emotion. And we should be feeling our emotions, but it's good to recognize them, maybe see the purpose that they're serving, understand maybe why this. Bah! You scared me.
Go back to my purpose.
Okay. Bye.
Go back to my purpose.
Okay. God, losing my train of thought today. But yeah, listening.
Go back to my purpose.
Like what I did.
Go back to my
Okay,
purpose.
hey, I'm working, thank you.
Go back to my purpose.
You go back to your bunk beds.
Oh, no. Go back to my...
You.
Yeah, go back to my purpose.
But just like what I did when I'm like, okay, let me just like end this live right now. It's going nowhere. I keep getting interrupted. I keep losing my train of thought. This sucks, blah, 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 blah. No, like identifying that voice and being like, I'm good. Like, this is fine. I like recognize it as fear. I've like identified that that's one of the parts of me. And I do this parts homework with my therapist a lot of just like Nico, what's up? Okay. Nico, I'm working in my office. So I do this like homework with therapy a lot of the parts homework, and I like having a note section in my phone where I can just go at any time, like on a tangent. Um, my son. Because the more that we get to know these like inner voices, inner critics, or the parts of ourselves, the more that we can better understand ourselves, the more that we can like process past trauma, big T and little T. Um, with what? Let's see. Let's see what little man needs help with. Okay, let me see. What do you need help with? No, you can slide down the slide.
No.
What do you need help with? Do you want to jump down?
No, this.
The pillow?
No, this one.
Which one?
I'm gonna do this for them.
You don't want to fall down. You could get hurt and die. Let's not do that. Why don't you jump from right here? You can. You good? Okay, do you need your space? You want some privacy and some space? There you go. See, that's a fun way. And especially in parenting, especially with babies who like are literally dependent on you. Like, there's gonna be parts of you that are frustrated that the thing that you want to do is now a little bit harder to do, right? And like kind of bringing yourself down and being like, it's okay. Again, it's not that serious. One of my favorite mantras, it's not that serious. Giving space to the way that you feel, and again, how we like stop to take a breath and like allow our body and soul and mind and heart to all like merge as one. I think that's such an important practice to come back to. And in my own life, like I just met with Drew of the Monkey Body. He's on Instagram and YouTube, but I met with him and he has this like great program, but his program is like 20 minutes a day. And it was like a big investment for me. And so I actually opted out of doing it. And, but the like 20 minutes a day really has stuck with me. And I'm like, okay, I can do 20 minutes. Like, I'm a body worker, I'm a yoga teacher, I'm a healer. Like, I know the things that I can do to make my body feel good. And really, I can just commit to that like 20 minutes a day. Excuse me, I'm burpy today. I don't want to write that down. Like, and I always say, like, in my course, even Heal Your Shit, I say, like, let's start with 3 minutes or even 30 seconds. Because if you start with something smaller like that, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 90 seconds, and then just slowly work your way up, when you're trying to implement a new thing, it's really the consistency is more important than like the actual task that you're doing. Like just showing up and doing that 60 seconds every day. That gives you the momentum to keep going because you feel like you're hitting these successes because I want to say setting the bar low, but like making it a realistic goal. Like, especially if you're a parent, if you're here, hopefully you're like someone who's postpartum or a parent, or you do have like a busy life and need to like have these reminders to slow down. So like why not start with a realistic goal that you know that you can hit, and that those like little dopamine hits too along your week are like make you feel like it's working. And the more that you feel like it's working, the more that you're going to keep doing it, and the more that you're seeing like, wow, this actually really does help me feel better, I'm going to keep doing this. Which I think is great. And And it's like almost a practice of like self-love too, right? Like it takes loving yourself and like caring about yourself to be like, yo, I am going to actually like sit down and like take care of myself right now. Because truly, at the end of the day, we come into this world alone, we leave it alone. And all we have at the end of the day is ourselves. The only thing guaranteed that we have is ourselves and change. but, so like no one's gonna nurture you like you nurture you. No one's gonna take care of you like you take care of you. And I do see this particularly in like the cultures where it's very important and like there's pressure on getting married at a certain point. um, People like look to this partner to like fulfill them in all these ways when they haven't actually been fulfilled themselves in all of these ways, and I think that is like such a missing link. And partially, have y'all seen, oh my god, what is that called, Sweet Bobby? The like docu-series on Netflix is crazy. And this woman, it just had me thinking so much about this woman who like essentially gets catfished. I don't want to blow it, but like gets catfished by like all these people in her life. And she ignored all of these red flags, all of these things. She accepted less than what she deserved because she was so desperate to get married. And she's like, well, I'm 30 something, like I'm 36, like whatever, I don't have time anymore to like be picky. And I just want to say, like, you do. You actually do have time to be picky. Adoption is an option that I think a lot of people forget about. And I understand this, like, want to birth your own kid. And I didn't really understand until I married into a family that has, like, many adopted kids that it's literally no different. Like, it is literally not different. I mean, I don't see my husband's family as like, oh well, they're adopted, they're like not a real family or like whatever. Like my mother-in-law is like missing out on an experience of mothering because she like adopted 3 out of 4 of her kids. Like there's just not that disconnect that we think of. So I think remembering that like adoption's always going to be an option. I know that process is like huge financially, and like it's a lot to go through, and like just the finances alone, and it's a privilege to be able to adopt. So I get that there are like those constraints, but the other option is like freezing your eggs, which is another really expensive option, and it's actually not even like a guaranteed thing too. um but we I'm up here, Bubba. I think this need to like find a partner, find a husband, get married, particularly the pressure that's put on women, but for anyone, for and like the older you get, I'm 31 now, and it like I even feel pressure in like ways to like be successful and like all these just things. And the more that we can like again come back to this like 20 minutes a day and like realizing I'm up here, Neeks, realizing like, oh, all of this is noise. All of this is like bullshit and noise. And the only noise that I actually need to listen to is like myself, the wisdom that I hold in myself. Even if you're like going to healers and body workers and like tarot readers, like, and I do all those things, but it is important. Like, I'm not relying on these people to keep coming back to me because I'm the only one that can heal them. Like, I want them to be at a point where like they've learned so much from me that now they understand that they are their own healer, and their own intuition is like the most important thing. Let's tie it back to pregnancy because this is a postpartum support group. um, in pregnancy, people are given this laundry list of what they can and can't do. And what I always say to anyone that's pregnant is like, you got to listen to your own self. If you already smoked weed and weed is a part of your daily routine and cutting it off just feels like a fuck no for you, then go with what your intuition says. If you, like for me, I was craving sushi, and this is not medical advice, this is anecdotal advice from my own experience. Um, I'm not telling you what to do, but I am saying listen to your fucking intuition. Like, we know we put so much trust in all these other people telling us what to do, and it's like, listen to your fucking self. Hang on. Let's check on what's the loud noises happening. What's up, Neeks? Nico? Are you good?
I don't want my paci.
You want your paci?
There's one my paci.
I know. I don't know where it is, Bubs. Okay. Let's see if I can find this guy's paci. Yep, got it. Here you go. Here you go. It's another thing. My kid just turned 3 and like he still has a paci and like people want to like tell me, oh, it's like you need to stop that, da da da. And I'm kind of like, fuck off. Like, I'm so tired of being told like, oh, it's gonna fuck up their teeth and they're gonna grow weird. And it's like, anything could fuck up my kid's teeth. Oh, you wanna come cuddle? Okay, come here, fuzzy muzzle. I'm like, I don't need someone else outside of me, like, and my husband, like, the father of my children, like, dictating what goes on with my kids. Even now, not pregnant, like, it starts in pregnancy, but I truly think, here, can I hold you and rub your back?
I got you my.
But yeah, I just think that doing this practice, it all feeds into each other. So I hope this is all making sense and like not being all over the place, but doing this 5 minutes a day, however many minutes you want to start with. 1 minute, 90 seconds, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, like wherever you're at, pick a number. Dedicating this practice to spending time with yourself, allowing this connection of body, mind, spirit, heart, intuition. You're getting to know yourself better, and knowing yourself, I think, is such a power in this world, especially when we're inundated with all of this noise. Hey. Can you heart to heart? Okay. When we're inundated with all this noise, and we're giving all of these other people authorities outside of ourselves, doing this practice gets us to know ourselves, know our inner voices, know our wants, know our needs, know ourselves. That is power right there. Connecting with your own intuition and your own authority, and being your own authority. I see doctors as like, we have a partnership within my health, but ultimately I make the decisions around my health. If a doctor for my shoulder tells me that I should get a cortisone shot, I'm gonna be like, respectfully, pass. I don't want that. I already had one and it froze my shoulder. Whereas I could be like, oh, I need to like do what the doctor says, because like they know more than me. Like that's actually not the case, especially when it comes to like your body and like your kids. Like, you are the authority, you are the expert, so don't give that power away. And I think the more that we can connect with ourselves, and like once we have those like first moments of like connecting with our intuition and seeing that our intuition is right, or just being like, wow, I'm so happy I trusted that gut feeling. How many times have you had a gut feeling about like a boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, and we're like, oh, I should have trusted my gut? Like, the more that you trust your gut, the just that stronger the relationship gets with yourself. And I really think, like I said, we come into this world alone, we leave alone. Having that connection with yourself is such a like level up, a game changer, such like a tool to have in your back pocket. Okay, so I want to go over just a few of the things I said, that if you want to like keep journaling on this, keep like exploring with yourself, look at the parts homework that I have done for my therapist. What are the parts of me? Like, look at this week or this month or this year. We're about to go into 2025. Looking at what are the different parts of me that I see show up in my daily life, this anger, this frustration. How does myself show up in these situations? The confident, compassionate, calm part of me that's empowered and embodied. Because this self-study, I feel like... Okay, you can go watch my dinosaurs. And it's like, I don't know, it's fun to learn, I do think. And when you're learning about yourself, like I said, the self-study, like, I just think it's such a tool to have in this world that we're inundated with all of this noise. There are companies that literally are working to buy your attention. So the more we can give our attention to ourselves, the better. Let me see what's happening here. Hey, can I help you? Can I help you? Hey, it just paused. Let me fix it. Okay. Do you want bad dinosaurs on? Should I touch it or no? Should I help you or no? Okay. Well, I'd love to close out stronger, but little homie needs a nap. So, oh. Let's see. Oh my God. Nico. I know. Get to know yourself and don't wait for something to rock you and turn your world upside down to get to know yourself. Do it now so that when, like I said, the only constant is change. When something changes and it knocks you off your feet, you have this foundation to be like, I'm good, like I'm steady. I know myself. I've got myself. I have this relationship with myself. And I don't need anything outside myself. I don't need to like work so hard to be skinny. I don't need to work so hard to find a spouse. Because I'm good. Like I'm good on my own. I know myself. And I care about myself. I nurture myself. It's like truly such a life hack. So thank you guys for being here today. Thanks for bearing with me through my child's many appearances. Again, a reminder that life isn't perfect. Nothing's perfect. We are not perfect, and giving yourself that grace. Thanks for being here. If you want to know any more about me or my offerings, check out rainbowrage.com, and I'll see you on the next one. My next live will be November 29th.